Up and Adams show on the road, as always, up and all over the place. We have such a special thing going on the East Coast in New England, in Foxborough, with Mr. Kraft in attendance, with all the Patriots' longstanding lore. I'm so excited to get to talk to Rob Gronkowski on a very special day where he is in a minute going to sign a deal to be a Patriot once more for a day, to retire as a Patriot, and for a very special reason. So very excited to have a very special Gronk day with our four-time Super Bowl champ, three of those four, of course, with those Patriots in like the best, maybe eye roll to the rest of the league, but like the best time ever. And getting to cover him while he was up there, super, super special to get to hang with him, because it's all about me. 8-2 Indianapolis Colts, wild. They're on a bye. They just crushed in Germany, Berlin. They have like 1 million new international fans now, which is exciting. And Nick Cross is fresh off that win, and he's choosing to spend his bye week with us. Also, friend of the show, best friend of the show, Davante Adams. What a year. We're underreacting to him and so much more. Let's do it. Up and Adams at FanDuel Sportsbook. Lots of fun things going on. Yeah, my secret menu items for week 10 did not work out super well, but everything else hit. Our K-makers, our sleepers, our vibes. We have Prop-A-Shot today. And this week, as always, it's Jets Patriots. So apropos for Rob Gronkowski to join the show and have us go over that and go at it. I don't know what the score is. I don't know what's going on. But we will hopefully talk to Gronk here in a little bit. Lots to talk about. We're going to hit high school. We're going to hit Miles McLaughlin here on the program after the Derrick Henry thing. And listen, Hamilton's not here today. You know how like he's like my guy, my crutch. I like bring him on when I'm like, oh, he's not here. So it's just you and me, you guys. I have the YouTube chat pulled up. Ask me your questions. Love that. I also tweeted for questions. If you guys have any, it can be about anything. You want to know how my time with Bustin' with the Boy is? I'll probably tell you guys more than you want to know here in the breaks. We have Gronk on the show, Nick Cross on the show, lots to get to. But this is the time of the week, Wednesday, where we turn the page in the NFL, and we flip it right to week 11, which is wild. And if we take a look at the slate, you probably haven't yet. Let's do it together. Okay, we've got Thursday Night Football tomorrow, AFC East edition. So fun. The Madrid game this Sunday. It's Commanders, Dolphins. Should we boost around the world again, everybody? Do you want to run back the 30% profit boost token? I loved seeing the tweets from you, these screenshots, everybody getting in on the action. Really nice generosity. Is this the last international game? I think it is. Is this the last one? Anyone? It is. Okay, it is. So this is the time. If you haven't done it yet, or if you've done it all along, it's been very cool to do. So appreciate FanDuel for the fun there. Look at these matchups. Bills 5.5-point faves over the Bucks. They're gonna have a good time there. We'll break that one down. Bucks at Bills, big one. Rams 3-point faves over the Seahawks. In this battle for first place in the NFC West, KC 3.5-point faves at Denver. Broncos can take a 4-game lead on the Chiefs with a win. Then in the Sunday nighter, Eagles 2.5-point faves over the Lions. Potential number 1 seed implications there, and that's the vibes. And so we will get to some of your questions here. We are flying solo. Okay, Ryan, we're going to kick this off here. I know I just saw the underreactions animation, but Ryan L., my good friend from Chicago, I remember seeing you at the, you're watching. I remember seeing you at the Cubs game when I threw the first pitch and we talked through that net. I felt like a dolphin, and you were awesome. And you said, my question is, where's Hammer? Everybody's due a bye week. Everybody's due a day off. He'll be back before we know it, but this will be a lot of fun. And he helped with these underreactions as he does everything. So let's hit these. These are things that we're not talking about enough as we are full steam ahead to week 11. And I do want to start with Davante Adams this morning. Best friend of the show. We're always keeping tabs. But sometimes when you're so close to someone, you ignore them. You overlook them. And what he's doing right now needs to be talked about, because this touchdown, oh my gosh, this one that you're looking at right here, this puts him into the league lead on the year. Davante Adams, as he should, has 9. He's gotten in the end zone 9 times. Ed Rooney, okay? The hands, still as good as you can get. Okay, this is a prime receiver. No unk vibes here. The routes, as always, as he got, he's like still getting better. And as he has every week, every whatever. Very crisp, looks good. And he's clocking, by the way, in the ballpark of 20 miles per hour if you look at next gen tracking. He's dominant. He's averaging, I think, the second most yards per catch of his entire career. Let's take a look at this, though. That catch that you just saw also pushes him ahead of Tony Gonzalez and into 8th all time in touchdown grabs. So everyone on this screen you see right here, every one of them is a Hall of Famer, other than Larry, who of course is first ballot come February. And if that's not enough, whenever he snags his first catch in this insane game that I love this game. It's Seattle and Los Angeles, big battle. When the first catch that he grabs with those amazing mitts that he's got, that puts him at the 1,000 mark for his career. And that is something to cheer on and watch and root for. That would make him, he's inside the top 15 then. It would make him the 14th wide receiver ever to hit that mark. Canton is here. It's there. Before that, he's got to get a ring. It's hard to not root for the Rams for me. And I like the Bucks. I like the Packers. I like all these teams in the NFC. Oh my goodness. Like, I might like Davante more than I like all of those things. This was such a home run by Les Snead and Sean McVay. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I tell you that when I talked to him that day at training camp, I knew that. He knew that. It's the perfect fit for him. And really, any veteran or rookie to be there in this vibe. He's getting, him and Matthew Stafford getting the best of each other. And he's a big reason why these Rams do have a great shot at the Super Bowl as anybody. Do we have the odds on there? I don't know what they are because I don't have a hammy with me. But I don't know what their odds for. Do we have Super Bowl odds? Do we have okay, here we go. Okay, so they're sitting there. They've got the third best odds right now, plus 700. I love that. It's not too high, not too low. Eagles and Chiefs is crazy, I think, to be. Chiefs, really? Chiefs at the top spot to be the Super Bowl winner on FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm not surprised by that, but I did not know that. Where we sit here right now, do I think that the Rams have a better chance than the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl? I mean, Rams v. Chiefs. Are we into that? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the Chiefs being the favorite? Again, let me explain this. When you look at these odds on FanDuel Sportsbook, the only place you should be looking at these odds, it's a projection. It is what they think is going to happen at the end of the day in February. So the schedules are considered, all the, algorithmic, whatever things the overlords with their abacuses are doing. It is not what they're doing right now. It is what they think is going to happen at the end of the day. So read it and weep. The sportsbook saying it's going to be the Chiefs at the end of the day. Against who? Maybe those Rams. What do you guys think? Maybe those Eagles after they look so great on defense like they did against those Packers on Monday night. Still not over that. We did not underreact to that, though. I had a big overreaction to those Packers. But let's keep going. What do you guys think? Let me hit up the chat at Up and Adams show with what you guys think we're underreacting to. I'm going to hit up the Texans here. I was at the airport yesterday in Nashville talking to Hamilton about this and saying I'd really like to dig into the Texans, who have an incredible defense, and they are working their way right back into the AFC playoff race. Danielle Hunter, who we gave love to, threatening, psychotic, maniac in the best ways possible. Will Anderson sealing the deal, game sealing play. They've always been unblockable, but they combined for 14.5 sacks this season already. Derek Stingley, second lowest passer rating allowed this season. Number 1 over the last 2 seasons combined. Kamari Lassiter, guys, on the other side, top 5 over that span as well. Not only do they have a claim for the top edge rushing pair in the league, they have the best cornerback duo, I think, in the league too. And this has all resulted in what's been the best overall defense this year. Number 1 scoring. Look at this. First in yards. They've given up just 9 touchdown passes to 10 interceptions on the year. Lowest passer rating against as well. This is as good as it gets. And those numbers should only get better this week because they've got the Tennessee Titans on the docket. If they beat them, I think they're back at 500. And then after that, they get to really make a statement. And my eyes are on the Texans in this team. Bills at Colts and Chiefs in Arrowhead. So if they can win 2 of those 3, the playoffs are going to be a real possibility. And the reason that it's very human, the reason we don't talk about them, I believe, is because we talked about this vaunted defense they're just doing what we thought that they do. We expect this out of Will Anderson Jr. We expect this out of Danielle Hunter. Derek Stingley did it last year. Why wouldn't he do it last year? We forget about how special it is to meet expectations in life, in sports, in whatever. We only talk about who underperforms and then who's like the sleeper that pops that we didn't expect. But there's something to be said for, and Davante Adams falls into this as well. Like, you're an incredible fit. This makes sense. This is what we expect of you. And they're doing that. So, I mean, amazing. 10 interceptions, all of that. And if they crush the Bills at Colts, at Chiefs, tough matchups, but they can really make a play there. Okay, another thing we're underreacting to. The last thing I want to talk about today, and then you guys can flood your comments here on Twitter. I think we're underreacting to something with the Lions. I might be going to a Lions game next week. Very excited about that. More on that later. But the fact that Jahmyr Gibbs, friend of the show, is really having one of the best starts to a career that we've ever seen from a running back. Take a look. 3 total touchdowns. They win over the Commanders in what had to be really meaningful for them, of course, after the playoff loss last year. This pushes him to 10 tutties on the season. Okay. He led the league, of course, 20 a year ago. He's 6 touchdowns away from tying Barry Sanders and passing Eric Dickerson and Gale Sayers, by the way, for the most ever by a player in his first 3 NFL season. The craziest part, he has done this while splitting carries somehow with David Montgomery, a stud in his own right, friend of the show. Can we just first of all, are we living in a simulation? How is that possible? Like, where in the Matrix is this allowed to happen? But can we take a second to appreciate the greatness that we're witnessing right now, how hard that is to do? And by the way, it's more than just the touchdowns. Okay, Marion Motley, let's go. He ranks second in NFL history in yards per carry right now. That's behind Motley, the Hall of Famer, who played, by the way, for the Browns in the 40s and 50s. Always down to give you a history lesson here on the Up and Adams show. He isn't just one of the best RBs in the league right now. Jahmyr really is one of the most electric backs that we have ever seen. So I'm glued to this matchup. They have the Eagles this week. That Eagles defense. What can he do while splitting carries? How many touchdowns? What's going on? He might have to. I don't even know, a parlay on that one. I have no idea. What he's doing is so amazing. I do also believe, is he the Halloween costume? He had like 9 different Halloween costumes with his like stunning girlfriend. Let's confirm that in the break. Up next, Rob Gronkowski is on the show. Let's hit your comments in the break here. Gronk is here on a day where he will be a Patriot. What does it mean to him? Does he get to just like run amok, give Kraft a noogie, put him in a headlock? What does this look like, getting to be in New England? What are the vibes? What does it feel like? Jets, Patriots, Gronk, yeah. Gronk is here next. Hi.
Smooth.
We will have Gronk on in just a bit. My question for him, I think, is more, I don't want to bring him on till we have like a special open for him. I'm excited about, but for Gronk, like what's on the table when you get to go sign your deal? You're not getting money, so it's not like that kind of a day. But like, do you get to go? You know, like, are you the star pupil? Do you get to go? What do you get to do? What should you be asked to do? Sit at Kraft's desk for the day? You know, go catch passes from Drake May. Gronk, spike it one more time at practice. What's going on over there at One Patriot Place? We'll get to that and more. I want to say big thanks to Bussin' with the Boys. I have to plug this in. Hold on. I'm all out of sorts. Big thanks to Bussin' with the Boys. Gronk was on that show, I believe, on that bus. You know, they're part of the FanDuel family, crushing it. College NFL all over the place, and they invited me to pop down and be on their podcast, and it is live now. I almost peed in my pants. I thought it was going to be 40 minutes, 50 minutes tops. It was like 7 hours, and it flew, and they were both so awesome, and we got into some sports stuff, obviously, teams that I think are underperforming, got into the Dable of it all. We'll ask Gronk about that too. But I walked in and it's very much for the boys. Like, obviously, like you walk, you know, there's like a lot of boy stuff. They had a cleaner come in and tidy up the place for me. They lit a candle, like some like cinnamon candle to like freshen it up a little bit. So that was really cool and kind of them. And they just really treated me like a sister. And I really very much appreciated that. And I don't do many it's not really my vibe. So I was very excited, nervous. I don't like talking about anything myself, but it was great. Okay, let's see. Oh, and Taylor Lewan, we should pull this tweet up for the next break. He put up this rom-com list. We talked very much about rom-coms. And so I want to pull that up. He is Forgetting Sarah Marshall as his one spot. I don't know about that. Okay, let's see. I don't know if that's just Forgetting Sarah Marshall's a rom-com. I think it's just like a more of a funny movie. Like Crazy Stupid Love is not a rom-com, right? Okay. Okay. Am I excited or nervous about the Bears right now? I'm excited about the Bears, of course. They're like leading the Packers. I'm not excited about the Packers. I'm much more excited about the Bears. But I will say, like, can you keep winning games like this? I don't know. I think what did Carmen say? Hell of a way to live for the Bears. Okay, guys, we're gonna bring in Gronk on such a special day. Let's go. I know, I'm excited. He's gonna love this.
The New England Patriots select Rob Gronkowski.
Dropping back, makes the catch over two defenders.
It's a 29-yard strike to the big boy.
Yo soy fiesta.
Three of your four Super Bowls were won with that team right there on a truly special day. Future Hall of Famer, studio analyst for Fox NFL Sunday, Gronk. How are you feeling today? What does it feel like to even just see that? We mixed it up for you.
Yeah, that was nice mixing it up. That was a new video coming on to here, Kay. Thank you guys very much for it. You saw me just jamming out to the music right there. So it's going to be a special day, you know. We're switching it up all over the place. Usually I'm just chilling here in Foxborough, but now I get to go back to Gillette Stadium. Got the new music video. Camille's going to be with me. Ralphie's attacking Camille's makeup artist, biting her feet all morning long. So you don't know what's going to happen. Surprises all over the place.
Yeah, let's set the scene. And you talked about this beautifully on Fox. And there's a couple layers to this that I want to get into. The reason it's a special day for our friend of the show, Rob Gronkowski, for his family, including Camille, Ralphie, and everyone, and for his Patriots family, is that you're signing a one-day contract to officially retire as a Patriot. What are you feeling this morning?
I'm actually feeling like I got the jitters once again. I woke up a little like shaky, like it was game day. That's how I always actually, you know, played every single game going into the first quarter, was like a little nervous. So I got those nerves right now. I got a little pit in my stomach, which is a good thing because good things always come from that. And it's kind of getting out of my comfort zone once again. And it's always good because once I start, though, it's like a workout. Once I get in the groove, once I start, you know, I can't stop then. And that's what's going to happen when I get back to the stadium. Those, you know, those nerves are going to go away. It's going to be great to see everyone, have the press conference, start answering questions, thank everyone, and it's going to go really smoothly. So I'm excited for it. And Kay, it's going to be a special, you know, day today as well, because how this all came about was because of the playground, actually, that I opened up about 2 months ago in the city of Boston. And my friend, she just passed away about 2 weeks ago, and she was the reason behind the playground, and she ran all my charities. And how this came about, why she's getting brought up, because at the event, RKK was there as well because he made a nice donation to the Gronk playground. And at the event, Susan always says, I want to see you retire as a Patriot. Like that would be one of the most special things ever. We all want to see that in New England. And she brought it up while she was speaking at the Gronk playground opening. And RKK looked at me. He gave me a little nudge and he goes, you know, Gronk, that's a great idea. Let's do it. You know, I was thinking about it already. We got to do that. You know, we got the Hall of Fame, but let's do the one-day contract as well. And I looked at him and I was like, that's a great idea, Mr. Kraft. RKK, let's get it done this year. And now here we are today on this special day with Thursday Night Football tomorrow in Foxborough. So it's going to be a 2-day event.
And she played a huge part in the Gronk playground. We're talking about Susan Hurley. I did a little bit of research. She was a Patriots cheerleader. She's been there a long time. She founded charity teams back in 2008. That's a nonprofit to help fundraise through athletic events. And when I really look at, by the way, we can watch this, all this action. We can watch at patriots.com. It's at 12:15 Eastern in just a couple of hours. You're going to have a press conference. You're going to have a contract signing. It's a very cool thing for you to do. When I think about like your legacy with the Patriots, like you brought energy, personality, you're iconic. They don't win these 3 Super Bowls without you. I was talking to Jason McCourty yesterday. It's like, oh my gosh, we're talking about boring, low scoring games. And I was like, you were part of the most boring Super Bowl I've ever been to. The only thing was Gronk. Gronk made this one catch. It was right in front of me. I got to be on the field for it. And like you are New England. But what I think, and I've said this to you before, like your legacy to me is how you have affected the community. The Gronk Nation Youth Foundation, amazing work over 10 years, and a lot almost irritating for me. So, like, quietly, like your visits to hospitals, you building these reading rooms, like while you were playing, and that was such a priority. When you think about your legacy, how you want to be looked at in New England, how big of a part is that?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first off, in order to build that type of legacy off the field, you got to dominate on the field. You really do, Kay. And that was always my number one goal. I always wanted to dominate and give fans some excitement and get out of their seat because I was making a big play, or I was, making 4 or 5 guys try to tackle me and I wouldn't go down and I would just rumble into the end zone. And people really never seen that before. So that's what one thing I always wanted to give fans the excitement about was the type of play that I had on the field and passionate about the game. But then it comes with the opportunities off the field. Once you ball out on the field, you get those opportunities as well. And with with RKK, Mr. Kraft, the Patriots Foundation, and what they establish here, in the New England Patriots organization is to give back to the community. And that was already established when I got here in New England. So it was kind of like engraved in my system to give back to the community every single Tuesday. At the end of my career, I had to stop, going to the playgrounds and going to charity events on Tuesdays because I had to focus more on the game of football because I was older and needed more time to recover and all that. But when I was younger, I always wanted to, be able to participate in those, activities to give back that the Patriots set up every Tuesday. So just overall, just wanted to be known as a fierce competitor on the football field, but also that someone that truly, has the passion to give back, especially to the kids. I had such a great childhood growing up, and that's why I love giving the same opportunities to these kids that I have.
And you're still adding to your legacy by doing that, everything you're doing with Fox and all of that. It's really, really incredible. I hope you have the best time today. I was asking, I did like, I hit up Stacy. I was like, what happens today? Like, what do you get to do? And I think I just want to like have a little fun with you on this. Like, what would you want to go do? Like, it feels like today, like you get to be king of the castle. Like, do you want to go out there and like Gronk spike once more? Like, do you want to like address the team? Do you want to, get a ride in Kraft's helicopter? Like, what if you could go like run the show for a day? Like, are you just going to Davio's and pulling up and eating oysters? Like, what are you doing? What is the one thing you would love to do today if you could do anything?
That's a great point, Kay, that brought up. I should definitely ask RKK for that helicopter. But I was already here in the Foxborough area, so I didn't need a ride in. If I needed a ride in, I'd been like, hey, fire up those engines. I need that private jet to bring me in. But here's the deal. I was talking to Stacy, and I was like, hey, Stacy, like, we can't go too many fireworks with this one-day contract because there's bigger things in the future I see. And he's like, that's right. We actually talked about that, We can't just have an all-out celebration when, there's the Patriots Hall of Fame possibly down in the future, future that's lined up. So I was like, let's do something that's impactful, but not too overboard. And we came to agreement that having this press conference is perfect. And then ringing the bell at the lighthouse before the game. I was like, that's an excellent idea.
Yes.
Let's get the crowd fired up before the game.
Yes.
And then I was like, we need a little bit more to it as well. I get to address the crowd at halftime.
You do?
Yes, which is going to be great. And then I get to introduce, after addressing the crowd, the halftime performance, which just coincidentally, it's my friends, Low Cash. They're country singers. They're a country band. And they're performing at halftime. They're actually from Florida in the Tampa area, so I know them through that way. And I was shocked when I heard that they were playing. So I get to introduce them as well, and then they start performing right after I introduce them and address the crowd. So what you said, though, as well, what you just gave me an idea is that you said a ceremonial Gronk spike, one more. I will now Gronk spike when I address to the crowd and after I introduce Low Cash,
Well, now I don't know. Now I feel like you should save it for the Patriots Hall of Fame, which I would assume is coming in the next year. I don't know.
Well, the Patriots Hall of Fame is outside. Everything goes down outside
okay.
of the stadium. I'm going to actually be inside the stadium on the field. The Patriots Hall of Fame goes down. It connects to the Gillette Stadium, but it's its
Okay.
own hall, and you have the podium and all that there when you do that. So I'm going to be actually on the field. I got to do one epic Gronk spike at halftime. No doubt about that.
Have you talked to RKK about a statue? Like, I feel like all of this is like, I mean, Tom never did this. Tom never signed the 1-year retirement thing. He just went off into the cloning world. He just started doing that. You have one up on him in this way. Like, maybe you can mosey on and get your statue now. Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, Tom is one of one. I mean, he's the greatest of all time. He played till 45 years old. If I was still playing and I was on the Patriots throughout my whole career and played till like 38, 40 years old, then I would say, yes, I deserve a statue right next to Tom. But Tom is one of a kind. He had 20 plus years here. I mean, the greatest. So a statue is just a little bit out of the question from the standards that Tom Brady set for us.
Gronk, I just have this idea, and I'm sure I would just love it. Camille can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. You have 9 career touchdowns against the Jets. You're there tomorrow. You already want to spike. You're telling me you're a Patriot. You are a Patriot. You could go. You could do your thing. There's no world where you got one more in you. Make it a nice 10. Come on.
Okay, I was actually joking around with some of my friends, and I hit up my agent, Drew Rosenhaus, too. I was like, hey, how do these one-day contracts even work? I mean, are they truly official? Like, do you got to take someone off the roster? Like, do I typically, like, or possibly can get a signing bonus as well? Like, how does it work? Like, you have to probably have some type of pay, structured in the contract, even if it's a one-day contract. So I'm still wondering all that. I got questions out there that need to be answered, Kay.
Can we FaceTime? Let's just call Josh. Let's not even go to Elliot. Don't go to RKK. Don't bug him. Josh McDaniel, put me.
Yes.
McDaniels, put me in the.
If I do sign a one-day, he would put me in. Josh McDaniels, he knows how to use.
But you are signing a one-day contract. What are you talking?
Yeah, so
you can play tomorrow.
But if I sign it today at 12:15, it expires at 12:15 tomorrow. I gotta wait till like 10 p.m. to sign it tonight, because then I can actually play in the game then until about 10:30 tomorrow night.
I think Drew Rosenhaus can make this happen. Yeah. Like, Drew, best in the biz. If you're listening, like, we can't make this a 36-hour contract.
36-hour contract. Josh
9
McDaniels
touchdowns is not the right. Yeah, go ahead.
He would look at me and he'd be like, McDaniels would look at me and he'd be like, all right, Gronk, you can't run this anymore. I can just tell, because McDaniels knows talent and he knows how to utilize this talent. He really does, and put you in the best situation. He'll be like, but this is what we're going to do. And I already know it's going to be a tight end screen where I'm blocking, and then the offensive tackle is going to come block my guy off of me. So it gives me a free entryway just to get totally wide open. We ran this play before, actually, when I was really beat up. We ran it versus Kansas City Chiefs. Call? Yes, I don't typically know the play call, but I forgot it, but I know exactly how it goes down. And it's when I stiff armed the Kansas City Chiefs safety as well and threw him down on the ground. It was that game. And I block, offensive tackle comes and knocks my guy off of me because we're behind the line of scrimmage, gives me a free passageway. The quarterback just dumps it to me. It's basically a screen 1 yard, and then no one's on me. So then I just run freely. And McDaniel's like, let's rerun that play, Gronk. I believe you still got that left in you right there.
Cal, feel free to text me. Cal's listening. Harrison's not here. Cal, feel free to text me who that safety was. I can't think of it right now. Or just text me in general, Cal. But that's insane. I want you to do it. Now you've just got everyone excited. Everyone, like, we need to get this out on the internet. We need an overwhelming slew of support for you to be out there and do it and do that tight end screen. I'd love to see it. You had 9 touchdowns against the Jets. 9 years up in New England. Okay. I imagine, like, there's a lot of fun today. Obviously, you're doing it for a reason bigger than you, respectfully for Susan. And that'll be heavy and all of that. But there has to be so much nostalgia right now. Like, these 3 championships that you just saw, like, when you were drafted. Like, I forgot that footage. I forgot these memories. If I could let you, on this day where you were retiring a Patriot, signing this 36-hour deal, if you could go back and we could let you relive one moment of those 9 years, what moment would you want to relive most?
It would be the Super Bowl parades. Well, first off, we got to relive the Super Bowl because we got to win the Super Bowl. But right after winning the Super Bowl, the parades were by
Which
far
one?
my favorite days of all time. And it was the first Super Bowl and first parade. We'll just relive those 5 days right there from the day of the game all the way to the day after, the first parade that I participated in, because the parade was just maybe the best energy type party I've ever been a part of, because you got millions of people just lined up, and it's not like they can get to you. You can celebrate with everyone while you're still moving on, and you're protected because you're on the duck boat, but you feel the energy, you feel the excitement of the city of Boston, of all of New England just cheering you on. And I swear those were the best like hour to 2 hours of all time, was being on those duck boats in the city of Boston.
I did. I went to one with you and the Julian Teen Wolf one. That was the first one, and I was not. I had no expectation, and it was like you guys were superheroes, like truly. Like I couldn't understand the waves of people on lampposts, in windows, on trees, throwing beer, throwing Goldschlager, throwing all sorts of like it was the actual, and I didn't do anything. It was so insane. That first one. Oh yeah, this was your SpongeBob one. This first one. They were throwing
speaking of
fireball at you.
superhero, I did truly feel like a superhero that day. Okay, you are right. That's the closest I ever felt to one. And the best part about it was I was hanging out of the duck boat. My friends were hanging on to my ankles each while I was hanging down, high-fiving the fans. They were tossing beers at me. I was cracking them. I probably had 8 beers throughout the hour and a half that the parade lasted for. Donna, she actually runs the Patriots Charitable Foundation. She was kind of like the supervisor in our duck boat, and she was flipping out because she didn't know how to handle the situation at the moment, because I was just so reckless and carefree. But I just felt like it was an opportunity to be able to do that. It was one of them. You're right. It was iconic. That parade was the best thing that I felt like I've ever participated in my whole entire career.
And I also think people don't maybe understand that it's not like you got 8 hours of sleep and then went to the parade and got rowdy. Like from the second you win the Super Bowl to when the parade it is, I imagine, all a blur. You are celebrating as you should the entire time. So honestly, the stamina of you Super Bowl champions, all Super Bowl champions, to make it to that and still be on that 10 out of 10. That's insane. I don't know that you guys slept from Arizona to New England. I don't think you did from that to that.
Well, okay, we celebrated in Arizona at the Casino Hotel. Forgot the name of it, with Flo Rida on stage and all that, which I was in heaven because that was
Ricky
my first
Rose.
time partying on stage with, Ricky Rose, all those great guys. And then I went right to LA. I was probably on 2 hours of sleep. I went on Jimmy Kimmel. We can't forget about that appearance. I performed. I came out strong on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I gave one of my best performances ever that Monday night, and that was my first late night talk show. We can't forget about that. I mean, I was on fire, and they cut out about 25% of the things I said too, which I was disappointed about. But I was reading A Gronk to Remember, which is a sexual book about me spiking footballs, which I was reading passages from it. It was legendary. It was spot on. Perfect timing to do that as well after winning the Super Bowl. Got on a commercial flight, flew back to Boston, barely any sleep because I went out after the Kimmel show too. I was hurting in the airport. There's actually a picture of me passed out on the ground in the airport. Only sleep I got. I land back in Boston, and literally the next morning, no sleep once again. This is 3 days in. We go to the parade, and let me tell you, it felt like I was on 100 hours of sleep, because that's how much energy and juice there was. And thank God I was only 25 years old at the time, because I don't think I could pull that stunt off anymore, Kay.
But you certainly would love to relive it. I'd say winning that first Super Bowl. I love hearing this. And then the next 72 hours of absolute insanity. I forgot about a Gronking to Remember. That's actually insane. Okay, love that. You're right. Suited and booted, ready to go. We're take a TV break. We still got Prop a Shot to come. I want to ask you one or two more questions, if that's okay. Is that okay?
All right, great. Let's do it.
Okay, great. We're taking a TV break here. We'll be back. We'll talk through it, of course, with Gronk. We should do Prop a Shot on TV, right? Okay, so here's what I wanted. I sent you this, Gronk, talking about big day Hall of Fame, iconic legend. I sent you, where did I have this Miles thing? Okay. So there's a high school in Indiana. It's called Knox High School. There's a superstar named Miles McLaughlin. This cat is a quarterback, a running back. He's kicking. I had Derrick Henry on. Derrick Henry's heard of him. So Derrick Henry has the career high in rush yards. Okay. He has the record. But this kid, Miles McLaughlin, put up 383 more yards in a win on Friday. This kid is 737 yards away. He's going to beat Derrick's record. What are you seeing?
Yes, what I really like about this kid is his lateral movement, the way he's able to see the field. He doesn't slow down. When he makes a cut, it's actually at full speed, which is kind of ridiculous. You don't really see that development until someone gets into college and has a, proper training and then into the NFL. This guy's reckless out there. He's making guys miss left and right. And to be able to beat Derrick Henry's record is absolutely absurd. I thought that one would never be broken because I actually saw Derrick Henry finally had as many rushing yards as he did in high school, he finally matched it in 10 years in the NFL, which is just out of hand. And then the same week, I'm seeing this guy almost beat Derrick Henry's, or gonna beat Derrick Henry's career rushing record for yards in high school. So he's a beast. Wish him nothing but luck and just keep doing what you're doing, man.
They're taking on the Angola High School Hornets on Friday night. History being made, which we love. Last one for you before we hop on the air and do Prop-a-Shot. Dable, the Giants let him go. Do you think they should have?
I think it's appropriate. I'm on Dable's side at all times, though. I mean, I love Coach Dable. I actually texted him right after I saw the news. Just told him I love him. He's got big things coming in the future. He wrote me back right away with an exclamation point as well. So, that's most important, is just making sure that he's in good spirit. But I can tell you this, he gave it his all. He really did. I would say just those fourth quarter comebacks when they were up. I mean, those letdowns in the fourth quarter when they were up and the other team coming back, I would say that kind of probably triggered one of the reasons why he got let go as the head coach. But Coach Dable, I mean, it happens to everyone. Everyone in the NFL gets humbled. I've been humbled before in the NFL, and he's strong. He's a strong guy. He might get knocked down for a day or two, but I'm telling you this, he's going to bounce back, and he's going to be better from it, and he's going to be stronger from it, and he's going to have a role wherever he takes it on next, and he's going to be successful, throughout his life in the football world.
Circle of life in the NFL. Bill Belichick, they were asking about him. UNC media were asking him about it. He says he's focused on Wake Forest, of course, on to Cincinnati. Do you think he'd come back to the NFL if that was offered?
It's impressive. He kind of turned this program around. I mean, the first 4 weeks were pretty brutal, but they're playing some quality football now, almost beating Virginia, who is number 14 in the nation, and they just won again last week. They could possibly be bowl eligible if they win out. They got an easy schedule, so that could happen. So
should he coach the Giants?
I just don't see him going to the Giants. No, I just don't see it happening with everything that's been going down at UNC. I just don't see the Giants pulling the trigger to bring him back there. Yes, I think that's his dream job, definitely, because he started there kind of, and he won Super Bowls as the defensive coordinator there. Let's just think about it. Coach Belichick has literally, he won 6 Super Bowls with New England, but he also has 4 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator. This guy has 10 rings. I remember him wearing them to the Super Bowl party. I'm like, yo, bro, how do you have so many rings? He's like, oh, I was winning Super Bowls while you were still not born, Rob. I was like, yeah, that's true.
I hope he texts you today, by the way, Bill Belichick, on your one-day retirement. Jets, Patriots, the Lighthouse, Gronk spiking, but it's time for everybody's favorite FanDuel Sportsbook bit. It's time for Prop-a-Shot, just you and me today. Let's look at the score. Okay. Still close, man. This is going to be close all season, 17-15. I went 2 for 3. You did not get on the board this week. So let's get to props for tomorrow night quickly. Gronk, you'll be there. All the energy is in your favor. The line for Drake May's passing yards is 241.5, over under.
I mean, he's going over. The Jets, they just traded away Sauce Gardner. I mean, they traded away their whole defensive line. Drake May's going to have a field day. It doesn't matter. It's a short week. He didn't get hit at all last week. He's ready to go. He's healthy. He's throwing over 241.5 yards.
Mr. MVP potentially over at FanDuel Sportsbook. I've got Stephon Diggs receiving yards. The over-under is 54.5. I'm going to go over. Primetime game, like you said, no Sauce Gardner for the Jets. He is going to go off. He always has these big moments, and this is a big one for them. Gronk, back to you. The line for Breece Hall. Breece Hall just left alone there with the Jets. No trade. He's still there, and the rush yard line is 61.5 on FanDuel Sportsbook. What do you got?
I know. This is going to be a surprise. I'm actually going under. I mean, their whole offense is running the game. They've been barely even throwing the ball. I mean, the Jets throw for like 80 yards a game on average right now. It's really, really brutal. But the Patriots just know how to stuff teams with the run game. They got a great run defense. So I just don't see them going over 61.5 because it's a big Thursday night game. That energy is going to be flowing. Under, Patriots are just dominating throughout the whole board.
I got Breece Hall receiving yards. This is interesting. So it's 15.5 receiving yards. I'm going to go over because the Jets don't have Garrett Wilson out there, Gronk. The Pats' run defense, number 1 in the league, so they're going to need to get Bryce the ball somehow. I agree with you on the rushing, but I think with the receiving, they got to get the ball in space in the passing game, and you give it to Hall to do that. Okay, anytime touchdown score for the Patriots.
On everyone, you just have a lot of screens set up, and then he can go over 15 yards easily. Just needs one to break through. So that's a good call right there with Breece Hall. But I got the greatest Patriots tight end in history, according to Tom Brady. You know, I'm going with Hunter Henry to be the anytime touchdown scorer for the New England Patriots Thursday night.
Okay, I have a touchdown score for the Patriots. I think I'm going to go, they started running the ball. They finally gave us to TreVeyon Henderson, which I loved. He scored 2 last Sunday against the Bucks, so I think he keeps it rolling. By the way, I just want to point out, Gronk, you and I get along very well in this segment without Hamilton. Hamilton is the stirrer of the pot. You and I just were very kind to each other during this whole thing. There you have it, his props versus mine. I'll go over that. Gronk, go do your thing.
All right, take care, Kay. Thanks for warming me up for today. You warmed me up. I'm ready to go now. Thank you. Say
hi to Ralphie, to Camille, to everybody, Pearl, everybody over there, Stacy, RKK. Here are my props for FanDuel Sportsbook, because you just saw prop a shot here, 17-15, the overall score. Stephon Diggs, over 54.5 receiving yards. Breece Hall, the over on receiving yards. I got co-signed by Gronk there. I love that. And TreVeyon Henderson as my anytime touchdown score. And Drake May for Gronk. He's going over on that passing yard. I think he's going to air it out. I love that because I love Stephon Diggs in this one. Breece Hall, under rush yards. That's where I'm going to get Gronk. That's not smart, Gronk. And then Hunter Henry as his anytime touchdown scorer. I hope Gronk somehow gets to play in this game, which I'd love. By the way, FanDuel Sportsbook, there he is. That iconic Gronk spike gives you another $2 million Thursday touchdown jackpot for this one. All you have to do is pick an anytime touchdown score, your choice. If they score the first or the last touchdown, you win a share of the $2 million pot. We got a short break here. We will get back and we will have Nick Cross on the show from the Colts taking your questions. Taking your questions on Twitter right now. I just want everyone to know, all I heard there is that if they wanted to, they would. Like, can we get some support in the Twitter world for Gronk to play, for that screen to happen? Kelly, you can get in my ear just what you said. It was who did you say that it was? Was it Ron Parker, the safety he was talking about? Okay, Ron Parker. I would never have come up with that ever, even if I had a million years to come up with that. I just Josh, I'm talking to you. Do dare to dream. You're going to be up. Here's what I would say. They're going to be up big against the Jets, as we know. Division game, sure. No. They're gonna. So you're telling me that in the third quarter, I'm not even saying the fourth. That's disrespectful. Third quarter, you can't just give him the ball, let him spike it for real. Not some performative spike at halftime before you bring on a country artist. No, get him in the game. I want to see the eye black. I want like some beads of sweat from Gronk. Let's really kick it back to 2015, 16. Big congrats to him. Very cool. I don't know if it clocks to everyone, as the kids say. Today's the day he easily could have said, I'm not coming on the show. I'm signing a one-day contract with the team I won 3 Super Bowls with. On an emotional day, on an exciting day. I'll see you guys next week. And that is who Gronk is. It wasn't even a thought. that he wouldn't come on the show. He's like, yeah, I'll come on. Insane. I would never. But love him, love his team, love FanDuel, of course, for making that happen. Pretty amazing. Okay, we have a minute until Nick Cross comes on the show. Here's some of the questions. How do I feel about the Bengals? Oh, okay, stuff. How do I feel about the Bengals? I think that if they don't win these 2 games and they're 3-8, they should shut it down. Shut Joe down. I don't care about his crystals. I don't care about anything. I do not want to see him on the field if they lose the next 2 as they're projected to have it back. How do I feel about them? Not great. Not great. My favorite Thanksgiving movie. What's a Thanksgiving? I don't know that I know any Thanksgiving movies. Anyone? Control room? What's a Thanksgiving movie? Is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles Thanksgiving movie? Yeah, that's one. I would say that one. Those aren't pillows. Steve Martin. By the way, we cut this out of the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, but I went through my celebrity crushes. They kept just teeing him up. I would say Steve Martin's on the list. Huge celebrity crush. Who's he on that show with? Martin Short. Also, huge crush on them. Who else did I put? We cut it out for like various reasons. Jason Bateman, as Richard knows. Richard, love Jason Bateman. And Billy Crudup. Those are my crushes. And here's Nick Cross.
Throwing it, he throws an interception. Nick Cross with a return.
And that one is intercepted. And he is buried again. What a day for this kid.
Intercepted! Herbert is picked by Cross.
Oh my gosh, these highlights are so fun. From offense with Gronk to defense on a team contending to win a Super Bowl, coming off an insane win in Germany. 4th year Colts safety, Nick Cross. It's nice to see you. Thank you for making the time on your bye week. What has this year been like? Can you just explain, when you're watching these highlights, when you're hearing me say the things I just said, when you're winning, what is this like?
It's good. It's a lot of fun. The season's been a lot of fun for sure. Every day is something new. Shane has been a great coach. Lou, all the people in that building make it fun to come to work every day. And, at the end of the day, the more you win, the more fun you have. So it's just one of those things that, comes with the business, but I enjoy myself for sure.
We can talk about Lou and the team and like everything you've done. I want to talk about you. 7 tackles, a sack, only 1 reception allowed against Atlanta. I was at 6:30 in the morning. You would have thought it was New Year's Eve midnight for me. I was freaking out. So happy for you. For a safety, Nick, to be leading the team in tackles. What does that mean? To be that kind of a disruptor, that kind of a presence who's always around the football. How do you get in your head to be that physical, if that makes sense?
I would say just, it comes down to hard work, preparation. It's something I go by, making sure that, I prepare my body, prepare my mind to go out there and go play. And at the end of the day, coaches always talk about imposing your will on your opponent, making sure that you win your one-on-one matchup. And, at the end of the day, as a competitor, that's the goal, to go out there and win your one-on-one every single rep and make the most of your opportunities.
You were in Germany, not the first time you guys have played there, but I've been reading, I didn't get to go. I've been hearing a lot, Nick, about how you guys have sort of won over Germany. Like you guys have put roots there, the fans, everything. You're smiling. Is that, how would you describe that, this fan base internationally for the Indianapolis Colts?
I would say it was great. The atmosphere was great. It really felt like a home game out there. They had the music pumping. They had all of our, little aesthetics in the stadium that happened in Lucas Oil out there. And, at the end of the day, the majority of the stadium was filled with blue. A couple of those people had their own, different jerseys and stuff out there. But for the most part, they're out there wearing that Colts blue. And it was great to see. And, every time we made a play, the stadium erupted, especially at the end when JT had that game-winning touchdown.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was a great play and a great atmosphere to go out there and play in.
What is JT like when he does these things, these like bunches of touchdowns? What is he like then on the sideline?
I mean, he's pretty chill on the sideline. At the end of the day, he's somebody I talk to a lot in the building and, real chill, real calm, goes about his business the right way. But, we're sitting there on the defensive sideline and looking up and, you hear the crowd start to get rowdy and you look up and JT running down the field, scoring a touchdown. Then, 5 minutes later, you look up and he's doing the same thing again and again. So it's just one of those things where you look up, you kind of just look at your teammates, shake your head and laugh because, it's truly unbelievable what he's doing this year and, how he's going about doing it, running the ball, catching the ball. Truly the best back in football.
Why should he be the MVP? Because it's a quarterback award, as we all know. Why should he be MVP, Nick?
I mean, you see the highlight. Highlights, running away from people, making people miss, and the highlights really don't do it justice. You go turn on the tape and watch, him making people miss in close quarters. Running through arm tackles, running through any type of tackle, D lineman, linebacker, safety, running away from safeties, making a miss. It's truly it's almost laughable to see guys are 2 feet away from him and then grasping for air. So definitely should be the MVP in my book. And just got to continue to keep his foot on the gas, and I'm sure it'll come.
I want to talk about tackles, and you've said this. Zaire said, like, he goes, "Don't count stats." Blah 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 blah. How friendly or unfriendly is the competition between you two? Because Zaire led the team in tackles last year. This season, you're up 9, 69-60 is the score. What is the banter there?
He always jokes with me. He always tells me I'm stealing his tackles, stealing his TFLs and whatnot. It's definitely friendly, but at the end of the day, he's been doing it for a lot of years. Someone who's a leader, very outspoken person in the locker room, someone who, people flock to, and, his competitive energy just rubs off on everyone. So, we'll sit there and laugh and joke, and, he'd be like, "Hey, bro," he'd like, just like last year, you started off hotter than me, but I'm gonna get there. So, just got to make sure you don't catch me this year.
It's not just tackles and being disruptive and around the ball and physical. Your coverage chops, I'd like to get into here. This interception off Justin Herbert in week 7. Can you talk me through this insane pick?
I would say, people are going to laugh when I say this, but, when we went out there on the field, I was supposed to, I thought I had somebody, and Z was funny. Zaire was guarding the person I thought I had. So he's like, no, you go over to the other side of the field. So, I looked and, I was like, well, I'm not getting any help. So I was like, I'm sure the ball going to come to me. But, I play a lot of Madden. I play a lot of, video games and whatnot. So when they ran a certain play, I was like, I've seen this play before. And I seem to get somebody else. So, I sat there and, I covered the man. I looked back and I was like, oh, shoot, the ball's here. So I just reached my hand out. When I was able to pin it against my body, I was like, okay, as I was going to the ground, I was like, yeah, I just made a tough play. I was like, this is definitely tough. So it was definitely a good feeling to get that interception and help change the momentum of that, continue to keep the momentum in that game and, ultimately win the game.
You did this from Madden. A lot of people play Madden, study for Madden, but not everyone can make basically a one-handed interception. I don't even know what to ask you about this. You're saying that this happened because of Madden.
I mean, I will give credit, Coach Lou, he definitely puts us in good position. I play a lot of Madden because I want to be able to continue to,
Coach Lou gets enough credit. Coach Lou's getting a lot of credit this year for y'all, huh?
He's getting a lot of credit. That's my guy. Always, chit chat with him and come in there and watch tape. But, I play a lot of Madden and be able to go out there and, I sit there and use my IQ to play and beat the guys I play and whatnot and, try to learn a thing or two from it. So, just however you can get
interceptions kind of start happening. I don't know. I promise you by the next time we talk, it won't just be one. I have a feeling they'll keep coming. That's just the way it works.
I appreciate that. I got to put that stuff in the air for sure.
Zaire's rolling his eyes somewhere in the background, like, shut up, okay? Daniel Jones, I've been a big fan, big supporter. It's hard to not be, when somebody gets to rewrite their history and what they're looked like, it's hard to do in the NFL. People put labels on people. It's hard. And he's shedding that. And he got beat up. He got roughed up on Sunday. The blood, all of that. But he still makes these throws in these big moments. He still leads scoring drives when it matters. What does a performance like that, the bloody lip, the 7 sacks absorbed, still finding a way to win, what does that do to the team? What does that say about Daniel?
I mean, it says everything, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him, he gets the job done. Someone who is fearless back there. Sometimes I be, on the sideline, get down, but he puts his body on the line for the team. And, at the end of the day, no matter how many times he gets hit, how many times that, things might not go his way, he always comes back swinging. At the end of the day, he falls down, gets back up, keeps pushing. And every time, he always puts us in position to go out there and have a chance to win the football game. So, much respect to him, someone who, again, goes about his business the right way, prepares at an extremely high level, super down to earth, always laughing and joking in the locker room. So, someone who.
What is he joking about? That right away piques everyone's interest because there's all these like, he's quiet. There's like, he plays into that a little bit. He's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, we sit in the sauna sometimes and crack some jokes here and there, you know what I'm saying? So, two quiet guys sit there, there's a commonality, a common, quiet gene in there. So, at the end of the day, he's a great teammate and someone who I go to war for. People who know me know that, I don't really say too much on game day. I don't really, show a lot of emotion, but when 17 back there running with the ball or throwing the ball, he'll get a little emotion out of me too. So
why? Why would you go to war for Daniel Jones?
I mean, the bloody look. Like, he goes out there and he puts everything on the line every week. Doesn't give any excuses, goes out there no matter what the score is, what's going on. And he just goes out there and plays and leaves it all on the line. I remember the play at Tennessee, it was third and I think we were up like 13-10 or something, 13-3 or something like that. And it was 3rd and 6. And basically he was about to get sacked. And I was like, oh, like, watch out. And, spun out of it and got the first down. And I was like, I just looked around and I was like, yeah, like, he's the real deal for sure. So, Daniel, if you're hearing this, you're my guy.
Oh my God, I love this so much. I need to go to a game. You guys have the Chiefs this week. I want to go. Oh gosh. Chiefs this week is crazy. Really quick, Sauce Gardner. Okay. 4 days to learn the playbook. A long flight to Germany. Still strapped Drake London up for most of the game. What has been most impressive? What's your best impression and takeaway of the short time you've had Sauce in your life?
He definitely lived up to the name. Definitely someone who I enjoy being around. Only been here 4 days, but learned the playbook really well. Real humble, real down to earth guy. Came in, made friends with all his teammates. And, I know that, Lou was just like, hey, just, make sure to communicate with him. But, he knew what he was doing. I'd be like, you got this. Like, yeah, I got you. And, play it to perfection. So, definitely someone I look forward to playing with even more. And, when we get Mooney back, it'll definitely be even more fun. So
yeah. I'd like you to play, Nick, even more with them after a long Super Bowl contending run this year. I understand that you rookie contract almost up, free agent this offseason, those picks, that physicality, everything you're doing, wanting to fight, run through a wall for your quarterback. I know you're only worried about ball. You're getting ready for the Chiefs. I know that's all that matters. Have we started talks with my boy Chris Ballard yet?
Man, I leave that to my agent. My agent does that stuff. I just go out there, play football, have fun with my guys and, get on the K Adams show. So at the end of
do you want to be a Colt Cross?
I love Indianapolis. I love being there. I love, what they got going on over there. They've basically seen me grow up since I was 20 years old. They came and drafted me. And, with Chris, with Carly, with Shane, Lou, always got to shout out my guy Lou. But, it's definitely somewhere, the team is great. It's a great family environment. So I love being in Indianapolis.
I like that you mentioned Carly second in that. I like that. I like Chris and Carly and Shane and Lou and all of that. Enjoy the rest of your bye week. It is I just love this for you, and you've earned it. You deserve it. Thanks for giving fans something to look forward to, not just Colts fans, just NFL fans looking for positivity. It is impossible not to root for. Tell Cam Bynum, tell Zaire I say hi, all of the guys. Enjoy it and enjoy manifesting this pick off Mahomes. I'm saying. I'm just playing.
You gonna show? You coming to the game?
I don't know. I would like to. I'll have my people talk to the Colts people. Lou needs to invite me. Lou, line one. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, Nick. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Bye.